Hey guys, this is Sharad with REsimpli. In this video, I want to go over the top 5 drip campaigns for real estate investors and when you would want to use it, how you would want to use it. The number one drip campaign is for online leads coming in. The second one would be offer made, where you made an offer, but you can't reach the lead anymore. The third one would be you are trying to reschedule a missed appointment. You have an appointment that you set up with the seller, but the seller didn't show up for some reason. The seller had to reschedule. Now you're trying to reschedule that appointment with the seller. The fourth one would be missed call drip, where you have direct mail campaign that you sent out or some other marketing and you just received a missed call from the seller and then there was no voicemail, no conversation, and then you want to set that up on a drip campaign. And then the last one would be long-term drip campaign. This you would want to use where you're trying to put a lead on a long-term follow-up drip campaign. So I'm going to share my screen and go over what each of the messaging would look like, where you would want to use each of them. So let's jump right into it. So these are the top 5 drip campaigns for real estate investor. The first one being online lead. So this would be where you have a lead come in from your website through PPC, SEO, or any other online leads that you're doing. It could be paper lead or anything. The first thing you want to do is, one thing you have to keep in mind is most, if not all of the online leads that are coming in are going to have an email address and phone number that's typically required. Then you have someone filling out your form. The first thing you want to do is, as soon as you get the lead, send them an email. Make it very casual. Hey, I just received your info that you submitted on our website a few minutes ago. Just want to reach out, quick question. And then, within REsimpli, you can add this personalization with property street address, because when someone is filling out the form, you have their property address, name, and other information. So you just ask that. And quick tip, put it in your email subject. Sent from an iPhone just makes it looks a little bit more personal. Another pro tip is, if you're not doing this, we have this feature called speed to lead. What that does is, as soon as you get the lead in REsimpli from your website or any inbound lead, it immediately calls everyone on your team. As soon as someone picks up on your team, it connects you with the lead. If you're not using it for online leads or inbound leads, I highly recommend. You're going to see your conversion go through the roof. So it's a pro tip. So after you've sent out the email, then you want to set this up where 2 hours later, you're following up with a text message. So you're giving the seller a little bit of time to respond back to your email. Then you're reaching out through SMS. You still don't hear back. Then you want to set up a task to call the lead. And if no answer, leave a voicemail and send an SMS that, hey, you called and left a voicemail, or sent an SMS. And then you want to call again. Then you want to try calling again, have automated SMS sent out after that. And you can see what SMS we're sending out. And then after that, you want to have another task to set up to call the lead. And then after that, if we haven't been able to get in touch with the lead, move them to long-term drip, which we'll go over in a little bit. So this is your initial first few days of follow-up that you're trying to do with the lead as soon as the lead comes in. You have to keep in mind, you want to make sure you're A2P 10 DLC approved, and then you're using your SMS within the regulation. So it's important that you mix in with calls, SMS, and also email. So that's your first one, online leads for incoming leads from your website, from your PPC, SEO, or paper lead. This is the drip campaign you would want to use. If you enjoyed these videos, you can actually join us live on Zoom each Tuesday for the masterclass at 2 p.m. EST. Ask your questions, network with our experts. There's a link on this video description on how to join. Thank you. The next one, a very common scenario that happens is you make an offer on a property and then you can't reach the seller. Let's say you have a property, you had really good conversation with the seller, and the seller said, hey, present me an offer. You make an offer of 100,000. Now the seller is MIA. So this is what you would want to use. You would want to put that lead on a drip campaign. An SMS goes out. Hey, first name, let's say the seller's name is Joe. Hey Joe, Sharad here with REsimpli. Just wanted to see if you have had the time to think about the cash offer we gave you recently for 123 Main Street. Let me know if you have any questions, or you're just following up on the offer that you made. Then you want to follow that up with a task. Give them a couple of days, follow that up with a task, and then send an SMS, follow that up with a task, then SMS, then send a direct mail. Very important, if you're not doing this, is to mix it up between how you're reaching out to the seller. If you're only doing SMS, make sure you add calls. If you're only doing call, add SMS, add email if you have their email address. And direct mail, we've noticed, can be very effective, especially if initially the lead came in through direct mail. It's something tangible. They see it and it usually triggers them to call you back. And then you want to keep following up with tasks, SMS, direct mail, and other tasks and SMS, just to make sure you keep it going and stay on top of that, just to get them back on a conversation with you, and then keep including the value that you're adding to homeowner, that you can buy that for cash and you can quickly quickly close. So make sure you keep adding that. And then, it's up to you. If you don't hear back from them after, a few months or years of follow-up, then you can move them to a dead lead or just call them again. That's what a lot of bigger companies do. Once, they have a set of dead leads, then they then put them back into a list of prospects and start going through that. So that's up to you. That's something that you could decide if you want to move it to a dead lead or just start re-engaging them as a prospect. The third drip campaign would be you are rescheduling a missed appointment. So this scenario would be you set up an appointment with the seller to go look at their property and the seller doesn't show up. They call you back and they say, hey, can we reschedule? Then now you're trying to get in touch with them, but you can't get in hold of them. Happens very, very often. So for this, you would want to use this drip campaign, send them an SMS, basically saying, just letting them know the appointment will take about 15 to 20 minutes, quick walkthrough or whatever your process is, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Then, call the lead to reschedule and send them another SMS asking them when is the best time. And then, send them again, call the lead, send them SMS, then send them a direct mail. Again, we have a direct mail piece built out for this. And also we have one built out for the offer made that, hey, we still interested in making an offer. And then we also have one built out specifically for missed appointment that you could send out. It talks specifically about, hey, I would still love to come and look at the property. And then after that, move them to a task or move them to a long-term follow-up campaign. So you just keep following up in them. And then the fourth one would be missed call drip. The use case for this would be you send out direct mail or you have PPC ads or other ads that you have running. Someone just calls you, hangs up before you actually connect with them or before they leave a voicemail. Then you would want to have this SMS go out. In this case, keep in mind, you don't have their name because it's just a missed call. You don't have their property address. So this one is going to be not as personalized. Hey, sorry, I missed your call. I'll call you back shortly from this number. In the meantime, can you please text me the property address you're calling about? So you're just trying to get the property information. A pro tip here is if you're using REsimpli list stacking and you have that phone number skip trace within REsimpli, if that phone number matches with list stacking, it's going to add the property address and owner information automatically. So if you're not doing that, definitely look into that. Makes the conversation much more personalized. Imagine if you get a missed call from a seller and you have the prospect's information skip trace in REsimpli, it's going to find that phone number match in list stacking and it's going to tell you, hey, this phone number match with this record, and then you can you have the property address and owner information. So really cool tip if you're not using that. So this is, if you're not doing that, then you have this task right here is phone number, look up in list stacking to see if the phone number matches. If it matches, then you can make it more personalized. If it does not matches, then you just go through and then call the lead. If no contact made, send them, leave a voicemail, send them SMS, continue doing that. And then if you still haven't heard back, then move them to a long-term drip campaign. All right. So long-term drip campaign, I would say, is one of the most used drip campaign within REsimpli. The reason for that, the use case for this would be, let's say you're trying to, any of the use cases that you have for missed call, you try to get in touch with the seller, or you have, the appointment reschedule and you follow up with them for a week or so, same thing with the online leads, and you don't hear back from them, then you want to put them on a long-term drip, meaning you're just following up with them once a month after that, just staying on the radar more than anything. That's the most important purpose of this long-term drip is you're staying on the radar. You're not pushing them or anything, just soft touches, letting them know you're still interested in buying their property whenever their situation changes. Or if a seller calls in and says, I'm just looking to see how much you would offer, and then kind of go from there. If the number doesn't make sense, you put them on a long-term drip. So this says, you would notice this is once a month, very long-term follow-up. You're following up once a month, just staying on the radar. That's the purpose. You're just sending them SMS, alternating between SMS code and throwing in some direct mail. If you have their email address, and you can just include email address also. And this just talks about, hey, we had corresponded a while back about the property you're looking to sell. We remain interested in your property and are always looking to buy property. And this would be the city name. Let's say if it's, Chicago, in Chicago. If your situation changes and you're looking to sell, please send us a text message or give us a call at this number. Then a month later, you call them and leave a voicemail and send an SMS. If they don't pick up, then again, you go back to SMS, call, and then you throw in a direct mail again. It just mixes things up, something tangible. Again, especially if the lead originally came from direct mail, really, really important to make sure you throw in a direct mail as part of a follow-up, not just rely on calling an SMS. And then you go back to SMS, month later, call them, you go back to SMS, then call, and then send another direct mail, SMS, call. So you just keep doing that. Again, it's up to you. If after 15 months or, year and a half, 2 years, you haven't heard back from them, you can decide to either put them back to a dead lead or restart another drip campaign after that, or you can make a drip campaign longer. There's no cap on how many steps you can have within REsimpli. REsimpli. You can keep it going on for as long as you want. We have some investors that have drip campaigns spread out for 5, 6, 7 years, and it just keeps following up once a month, once a quarter until they hear back, and it just keeps going on and on. So again, these are the 5 most important drip campaigns that you want to use in your business as a real estate investor. If you're not doing this, highly recommend you start using these. If you're using REsimpli, these are already added in your account. If not, I suggest you try them out. Sign up for a free 14-day trial. Just test them out and see how it performs in your business. I would say drip campaign is the number one most loved feature in REsimpli because it automates a lot of things. I personally closed on properties from drip campaigns after 2 or 3 years, where we just automated the whole process. Just kept texting them, calling them, texting them, calling them, and then when their situation was ready, we had a conversation and we were able to close a deal. So I hope you got some value out of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, check us out at REsimpli.com, or you can email us at support@REsimpli.com. Thank you and have a great day.